dating when you're dating?
I'm dating.
And so how is it out there in them streets?
The streets are great. I love my. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm very happy. And so what I'll say is, wait, I forgot the question. What is the question?
Are you like, how difficult is it being out there?
So let me tell you, as a feminine woman, where are my feminine ladies at?
Is it the soft girl era?
It is soft girl era. Okay, as a feminine woman, it is much more challenging because femininity wants masculinity. And a masculine man is not going to be okay with you working 24/7. So there is a balance that has to happen. Now, that being said, I've heard it said before, there's an alpha submissive thing that's happening, right? Where you can be an alpha out in the streets. You can be an alpha in your business. You can be a boss babe. You can be a business owner. You can be a serial entrepreneur. But when you come home to your man, baby, take that cape off. Put on your little girl shoes and be that little gooey girl that you can be, right? Because masculinity doesn't want masculinity. And I do think that a lot of us women, because there are single moms, there are women that have to be masculine not by choice, but by necessity, because they have to provide for their families, or we're paying our own bills. We're doing all of these things. And so sometimes it's a little hard to fall into that soft girl era.
Right.
So I would say, check that at the door. Like, where are you at? Do you mind your tone when you're speaking to that man? Are you mindful of your volume when you're speaking of that man? Are you able to be affectionate and loving? Or is it insecurity after insecurity after insecurity, which goes back to, are you happy with yourself? You have to love yourself.
I heard that.
But no busy man gonna take no super busy woman. Not masculine.
So
let me just say this first and foremost. Shout out to Sarah. Listen, you may not agree with everything she says, but I respect the fact that she can articulate herself in a very profound way. What she just said is really powerful, but I think we need to talk about the things behind it. Should a man marry a boss babe, or should a man marry a woman that's married to her work? Someone might say straight away, nah, shouldn't happen. Like she explained, no man really wants a woman that's super busy. That isn't the issue. The issue actually isn't that her being busy is a problem. The issue actually is what we call the 4 A's: the appreciation, the affection, the acknowledgement, the affirmation, and accountability. Now I said 5, but the reality is appreciation, affection kind of go together. Men don't mind you making your own money and doing your own thing. What they do mind is, how do you treat them? That's always ever been. Like, man, them are not saying don't make money. Man, them are not saying, hey, quit your job and stay at home all the time. That's not what man, them are saying. Man, them are saying, do you respect me? Do you appreciate? Do you have affection for me? Do you acknowledge me? Do you affirm me? Are you accountable? Because those are the 4 A's. That's what makes sense for us as man, right? So when you dating somebody who's a boss babe, the problem that can happen is the appreciation and affection can go down because she's so busy working, she doesn't have a concentration and mind on you. Right, because she's so split with her time and her energy and her particular viewpoint, right? And in that essence, because she's obviously working so much, she can actually, the acknowledgement of what effort you put into a relationship can also go down, right? The affirmation can go down because she's comparing you against a man them in the office, right? The accountability, well, that's nothing to the office. If she's not accountable, she ain't accountable, my guy. You know what I'm saying to you, right? Now, these are what's important to man them. So if she's a boss babe, if she's appreciative, acknowledging, respectful, affirming, accountable, man will marry her blood. A man will marry that girl instantly. No problem. The problem is, for instance, when she said about working all the time, the question is, what's the mindset behind the working all the time? Is it because you don't trust man and you can't trust a man? That's why you always have to work, because you always have to have your own, because you can't trust a man. That's a different mindset. That's not to do with the action. That's the mindset. So the boss babe thing is a mindset that man them are pushing back against. Does she have reverence for your leadership? Or is it because she's also making money, she's now become an arrogant individual? You can't tell her nothing. She won't follow your lead. That's a different mindset. That's not the behavior. That's a mindset thing. And that's why man them will push back on that, right? And so I hear what she's saying. Now, Nick Cannon's about to say something which is really profound. I think it's interesting. And I say it's interesting because, first and foremost, he's the 1% of the world. He makes enough money. He's a big business owner. And he married Mariah Carey. But I'm going to be very honest with you. Most people ain't going to be marrying Mariah Carey, right? And so the ball game, the game is different because the ball is different. Because the league he's in is different, right? Let's listen to what he's got to say quick.
Even in that idea, because, I mean, I like what you're saying in that sense of where from a man's perspective, we want to be able to be that provider. We want to be able to be that protector.
Yes.
So if I'm not able to express that to you, then I had like I said, I like a successful woman, I like a strong woman, but I want to be like, it seems that women will have their guard up, and correct me if I'm wrong, until they feel like they can trust the man that allows them to be soft.
Yes. Because I have a question for you, Nick. Would you be with a...
Now, that's a very important thing. It's a very important thing what he just mentioned there. And some of you are gonna miss what he said because you're gonna say, listen, a woman should come into a relationship already being feminine. I actually agree with you, right? I agree with you. I think there's a nuance to the conversation. I agree that as a woman and as a man, by the way, because it's the same thing from both sides. If a man has to come into the relationship already masculine, as a woman, she should come into it already feminine. The question is, who are you picking? Because I hold man them accountable when you make choices to date somebody. I don't look at a woman, right? The reason why I don't look at a woman is because if the field is bad, but you're able to find a good one, that's on you. You get all the praise. If you pick up the bad one out of the good one, out of the bad one out of the field, then it's on you as well. You got to take the smoke. So for us as man them, I'm saying to you, choose one that already has feminine traits. She's already showing you she's feminine. So that you don't have to have the complaint later on about, oh, she's always masculine. Da, da, da. That's because you chose someone like that, bro. And then now you got to do the hard work because now you got to provide a safe space and a safe environment and a safe arena, which you should be doing anyway, right? And now you got to provide that so that she can actually have that transition. And that's going to take some time. And the question really is, then, is your patience going to outweigh her journey? In a lot of cases, it doesn't. And then you're sitting here pissed off, angry at girls. And I get it. But the reality of the situation is you chose it. So make sure you're choosing someone who's got feminine traits. What does that mean? Somebody who's able to receive your leadership well, somebody who compliments you, somebody who's able to also see the vision that you're looking at too, somebody who wants to help provide for the vision, somebody who also wants to push you, speak life into you, someone that's affectionate, caring, someone that's considerate. You know what I'm saying to you? Somebody who's able to take compliments, give compliments, somebody who's able to exist in their emotions without actually it spilling over to you. That's what you need from a woman. Right? And when you get that, you run with it and you're okay with it, which is why I said again, a boss babe isn't the issue. It's the mentality that a lot of people end up having. Just like a man who can work, but if he's got a trash mentality, ladies shouldn't go after him. It don't matter how much money he makes, right? But we see that people end up bypassing that rule, choosing some dead thing who doesn't fit any of the criteria and then complaining about the dead thing. And I'm not talking about looks when I say dead thing. I'm talking about the behavior. I'm talking about the mindset, right? So let's listen to what Nick Cannon's going to say.
Woman that puts her work before you.
Absolutely. I've been with many women that have put their work before me.
But you didn't marry them.
Maybe I did.
And that's the point. And precisely he didn't marry them. He actually impregnated them. Like 11 of them. Or 6 of them or whatever he impregnated, right? Those women didn't put their work before him because they might have chose to put their work before anything else, before a relationship. And that's why they waited so long to have kids. But he ended up having kids with somebody who wasn't going to be there. Let that sink in. They chose somebody who could financially provide but will not be physically present. Does that make sense? Does that sound like a sensible decision by that woman? No. Right? So man, got to avoid these kind of gal. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? Now, Nick's trying to say, obviously, that he don't mind choosing a woman that puts his work before him. Yeah, because the reason being is because Nick's not emotionally connected. Now, what does that even mean? It sounds like a big word when I say that. What I mean by that is that when you are in a relationship, the way that relationships last long is when you are in tune with your emotions. Yeah, you're probably going to say it's a bit mad as a man. Listen to what I'm going to say to you. What emotions are simply your feelings, bro? Right? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you down? Are you up? What is it? Are you feeling let down? Are you frustrated? Right? Sadness, anger, grief, fear. Those are the normal emotions, bro. Happiness. Right? When you are in tune with those emotions and you don't deny them and you don't squash them, it doesn't mean you have to let them run you. Don't let your emotions run you now. That's stupid. But you can't also deny you have feelings, right? That's how you end up doing foolish things. That's how man start unaliving things. When man tells you that I don't have feelings. No, you have feelings, bro, right? So we have to honor that and respect that, but I don't let it run me. You feel me? So when you're in tune with that about how you feel, you choose somebody who aligns with that feeling, bruv. If she's somebody who's gonna speak to you in a kind way, you see, when you find a girl that's appreciative, affirming, acknowledges you and is accountable and is affectionate, how do you feel? Happy? Yeah, you feel good, right? You feel nice, you feel excited, you feel loving. Those are emotions, my guy. So when she does those behaviors, it elicits an emotional response. All relationships are built on emotional fronts. When they're not, they're transactional. And when they're transactional, you're going to transact and you're going to find out what you're going to get from it. Right? You often feel let down and you often feel devalued at the end of it. Like if a girl just uses it for sex, probably not. You might be okay with that. You know what I'm saying to you? A lot of us probably be okay with that for a while, right? But if you really like that girl, which is emotions, if you really like that girl, right, and she only wants to use it for sex, you'd be disappointed because you felt like you wanted more, right? So relationships are built and birthed on those emotions. So Nick Cannon choosing gal that don't want him to be a father don't want him to be a father physically, but want him to be a father financially, are moving mad. And that's not the kind of woman you should be choosing. You see what I'm saying to you? So yeah, when they put their work before you, and when I say that, what I mean by that is that their work is their career, is their life, is everything like that. You already know there's no space for you, bro. Because it comes with a mindset too.
But even in that sense, when I was married, that was what we respected and actually admired about one another, is that we were both on our own boss level trajectory. She was already there. I love the fact that, you know, she put all of her work, all of her passion, all of her art first, and I could be there to be that support.
Was that hard?
I used to say, like, the thing that was dope is like when she turned hers on, I turned mine off. So I was very comfortable in supporting her.
Do you think you're special in that space?
Nick Cannon talks about how comfortable he was in support. He was, because he was building, right? And now look where he is now. You see what I'm saying to you? You were comfortable, but you mistreated her, blood. She didn't cheat on you. She didn't do anything to it. So how did it end up going away? Because you mistreated her. Right? So man, don't want that. When they tell you what your actions will tell us what you really want. You feel what I'm saying to you? I'm not saying Nick Cannon's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's a bit loose. But the reality situation is, man, then when we are looking for gal, we're looking for appreciation, affirmation, we're looking for acknowledgement, we're looking for accountability. All right, we're looking for admiration too. A girl that reveres you and respects you as a man, as a leader. You know what I'm saying to you? That's not just wrapped up. That's not only when someone's just been there soft and feminine, but the boss babe thing isn't the issue. It's the mentality behind it. If she feels like she's a boss herself and a leader and thinks she can lead that relationship, you're gonna always have a fight. You're gonna always be wrestling for power in that relationship. You know what I'm saying to you? That's why it's easier not to date them, because it usually comes with a mindset. But again, by all means, always check with every woman that you're dating. You know what I'm saying to you? It's not everyone that has the same mindset. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you agree with what I'm saying or disagree,